Alright, this is the Blender UDK Supplemental Skinning Rigging. If you haven't watched geodav's vids, well, you should, because I'm not going over stuff he already did. A couple of quick tips. First thing is units. You go over to the scene context. You can see I've got it on metric. This will translate exactly to Unreal units, and it'll come out as meters. As you can see, this vehicle. Oh, well, let's not look at the vehicle. Let's look at some helpers. I've got this yardstick, and you can see it's 98 meters. So that's exactly what you want for Unreal units for a standard character in UT3. As you can see, I brought one in to kind of guess, and when I look at the vehicle, yeah, looks like it'll fit. Guess I could be more precise if I posed it and all that, but nah, too bad. However, I don't want to export this, and I don't want it in the way of my scene. So when I'm done with this stuff, I'm going to kill it. That is important. Lamps I don't need. I'll deselect everything. I'll just box select and kill them. One helpful thing, that's where I put it. One helpful thing is a text file. You're going to want to open up the text window here. You have to save the text separate from the file, otherwise it gets out of sync. It doesn't save with the Blender file. And you can keep track of what you're doing, what worked, or maybe what you should do. Now I've already set up the skeleton, but I'm going to grab this armature. I'm going to press M to move it to that layer, get it out of the way. Show you how I set this up. It's basically what geodav's doing here, and the same reasons why. That you want your mesh with no transforms at 0, 0, 0, no rotations, pointing down the x-axis, ready to go. And you want good UVs for it too. That'll be a different subject. So the first bone you want, of course, is your chassis bone. So in this case, pretend I don't have that. I'm going to add an armature, a single bone. And you can see it's nowhere near big enough. So what I have to do is enter edit mode, and the tip I have to move, in this case, down Y. Move it 8 meters so I can see it. It's on an angle. Well, that's not going to stay like that for long, because I'm going to put Z at 0. Oh, I can't see it. Well, okay. Let's go up to one of these bones. Armature. Alright, I need axis, names, X-ray. Now I can see it. And now I can see the axis. In theory, what are you doing to me? Armature 01. Well, that's, oh, there it is. You don't see it in edit mode? Well, anyhow, there's my bone. It looks wonky. We know why, because we were smart and we watched geodav's vids. Now I'm going to call that something clever. Name of the vehicle. Oops. Chassis. There. No confusion as to what it is. I don't want to move that bone. I want to keep it where it's at. That's the main bone. All the other bones are going to be parented to. So what I can do is Shift D to duplicate it, move it out of the way here. Let's say I want to do the wheel. I use a different naming convention, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be the wheel bone. Of course, it's got to go in the center of this wheel. So one thing I do in advance, besides get confused, is get to this view. I want to get out of edit mode. So I'm in object mode. I'll select that, and I want to be in edit mode again. Now I want to select vertices. If you haven't set up locators called empties in Blender, you can do it this way. I recommend you do it in advance in case you have problems. So I use box select to select these bits of this wheel, which will put it right in the exact center. So my cursor's in the center. Oh no, it's not. It's in between both of them. So I can box select again, and when I use the middle button, that'll deselect those. So now my cursor's in the center. First thing I do is cursor to selected. Now my cursor's there. I get out of edit mode, and I've got nothing selected. I'm going to add an empty here just to show you how it gets done. And my empty is right where I want it. So if I've got all these set up in advance, which I do, and I'll show you, they are on this level. So since that's the empty, I can Shift S, cursor to selected. It's right where I want it to be. I deselect it. I select my bone, get into edit mode, right click to select that one, and now all I have to do is Shift S, selection to cursor, and there we go. There's no farting around with that. If I want to do the other wheel, move it over here, I rename it, the right wheel, there we go. Get out of edit mode, deselect that, select this empty I set up in advance, cursor to selected, deselect it, get into edit mode, selection to cursor, and oh, look at that. Alright, so I'm going to delete that because I've already done it. Delete. What am I looking at now? Here's my armature that I've moved into this layer. I've done it. Here's the mesh, which is ready to be skinned. Oh, I don't know what that message was. Thanks for whatever. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can parent this, or you can use a modifier. As far as I know, you can't use the modifier over here to export it as PSK. You just won't do it. However, you can use the modifier to cleverly set up your vertex groups in advance. So, here I will add the modifier. I will add the deform armature. I will point it to my armature. Now I go over to my bones, and I have to be into pose mode, Control Tab. And what you can do is through the outliner, Shift select all these dang bones, or do it the easy way. But I've got these here now. Now what I want to do, I got them selected. I still want to select this, and I want to enter weight paint mode. Now I don't really care to weight paint it. It's not going to do us any good, but weight from bones. And unfortunately, no matter how many times you press W with this particular version of Blender, it does nothing until you get it from this spacebar search menu. And then we're going to go automatic. And now I'm just going to exit that, and I don't want to be into I want to be in edit mode, and I don't want to be in the object data. So now I've got all these vertex. So what you do is you go through each one. Yeah. Select what happened. Well, it put those verts in that group. Remove. I don't want anything in there. What I do want, the chassis. Control L to select everything linked. Yep, that's what I want. Assign. Oops. Deselect. Now if I select it, it's got all those. It's not exactly the chassis, but this is the basic workflow. So if I want this front wheel, where is it? Front left. Strut wheel. I select everything in there? Well, that's not really going to do it, is it? It has to be that whole area. So I'm just going to deselect everything in case there's anything in the background selected. Press B to border select. Press Control L to get everything that's linked, and that should be everything in our wheel. I sign it. Double check it. Whoa, isn't that great? So now that's for the bone. I do the same thing with other things like this strut. Sign it. Check it. And I carry on, and I do that through every single one. Now for the damaged bones, I select that. Now I want to select a whole bunch, so I'm going to Control and Numpad plus to grow my selection, and that's built what I'm going to use for the front left damage bone. That's not front right. Where's it? Damn, front left. Assign. Now I also want to, because I know it's part of the chassis bone, remove it from there. So if I select the chassis bone, I don't have that bone. And if I select the front left, deselect, that's what it's going to be. So you do that for every bit of the vehicle. The only bones that aren't, the only bone that isn't aligned this is the only bone that isn't aligned with the world. That's because I want to rotate this yoke of this wheel along that plane. Alright, so once you've done that, you still can't use it because you've got the modifier on the vehicle. What do I do? I can apply it. Does anything happen? No. What you have to do, see, now it's cleared out all my weights. Of course the groups aren't set properly, but if they were, it still would clear it out. What you have to do now is select the chassis and select the armature. Select the armature. Select the chassis. Select the armature. Now we're going to parent it. Make parent. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to go into object mode. No, I don't know if that has to be in pose mode. Pose mode. Alright, armature. Does that do it? Yes, armature deform. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we still end up with, you can see it's not fully weighted, but the chassis moves. Fix any problems you have with the weights. And now we should be ready to export it. See, that ain't going to work. Let's go to the vertex groups just to fix it because it's irritating the hell out of me. Vertex group, object data. That's the front right wheel. Wheel, back, front right. Select. Nah, we don't really care about that. I normally fix that. We're going to assign that. We're going to choose this. Okay, it's part of it. See if the whole thing moves. Yep. So now what you can do is export it, and if your weights are set up right, it'll be fine. So you have to have the add-on enabled. Oh look, I don't have it. Oh, there it is. Skeletal mesh animation. Choose a name for it, which I've already done it, and then export it. And it takes a long time. See, look at that. Forever. You didn't need to see that. Sorry about that. Alright, so we don't care about that. So then when you export it, I imported a good version. Shut up. This is a previously exported version. You get your bones properly. The chassis. How to navigate this thing. So, I don't know, can you grab these? Let's try. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, there we go. And then you get to do all the wonderful stuff that geodav tells you to do. And you should be good to go.